Me say him a drive, you know him not stop. Wouldn't mind him go Constant Spring Road.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, News and Entertainment with a Buzz. The video that you see playing on the screen at the start of this is of a video that has been making its round on social media. Went viral based on a road rage that started in an Alpha Tree and concluded on Constant Spring Road. So pretty much the driver of a Jeep, he said that he was hit by a man driving a Pro Box. The man in the Pro Box did not decide that he wanted to stop, so the man in the next vehicle chased down the Pro Box. While he was chasing him, coincidentally, a police was on the scene. The vehicle then stopped. The man whose vehicle was hit initially ran into the back of the Pro Box, and then he jumped out of his vehicle, chased the man, jumped across the two vehicles, and then grabbed up the man, drape up the man, clapped him in the face while holding him at gunpoint. Well, people, based on information that I have, it is said that that gun is now in the company of the FLA, meaning the Firearm Licensing Authority. I am going to let you hear from the Assistant Superintendent of Police that is on the case, and also the spokesperson for the FLA, what they had to say about the whole incident, and then I'll give my piece.
The incident has been properly reported. We are looking at several offenses. So we are on top of things. We have a suspect by name, not yet arrested, and we are doing some workup right now to have that person in our custody. We are far advanced with this investigation, and in short order, we can give you an update onto the progress of our investigation. To include assault at common law, unlawful wounding, assault, OB arm. Also, we're looking at prohibited weapon charges. I can inform you that with the help of technology, we saw where the firearm was used at more than one location where it was pointed at the complainant. And we also have statements to confirm that what the technology shows us.
The firearm is in the authorities' possession, and a formal investigation into the incident has been launched. Using a firearm, a licensed firearm, to intimidate, threaten, or instill fear is a violation of the terms and conditions of a holder's license and will not be tolerated. Where such complaints are brought to the authorities' attention through any medium and an investigation finds them to be credible, the board will immediately revoke the license.
So people, you heard from both the FLA and you heard from the POPO. Relevant authority when it comes to cases like these. So we can come to the conclusion that the firearm holder, JDF officer, is going to be in big trouble. He is going to lose that firearm definitely, and he is going to be charged. It is only inevitable, just a matter of time. Unless of course, you know that there are some sorts of bribery. This is Jamaica, the epicenter of corruption. Now, people, based on what the man, meaning the JDF soldier, said, the man licked him vehicle, then he never stopped him. I tried chase. There was a chase, meaning they were both bobbing and weaving in the traffic. We saw the videos on social media. However, based on what this Pro Box driver is saying, the one that is allegedly the victim, is that when he licked the man's vehicle, the man pulled a firearm on him. Well, people, I don't have any sorts of video to validate or verify those claims. We saw the man pull the firearm after he intercepted the vehicle or ran into him on Constant Spring Road. So therefore, that is what we're going to go with, not no hearsay or what person said, to validate their own side of the story. Here's the facts and reality speaking in general. A lot of times you have these people on the road, especially taxi driver, them lick your vehicle and then them take for themselves. If you want to chase them down, that is up to you. Them take for themselves, never to be seen again, then you have to go and face your insurance company or face it on your own, meaning taking money out of your pockets. Here's the next thing. When it comes to insurance in Jamaica, I don't know how many of you guys have ever had an experience of making a claim. I made a claim. It took me over a year and 2 months before my vehicle was actually fixed. A year and 2 months. That is right. And I am sure that other persons can attest to this. So we're speaking about inconvenience. We're speaking about a habit that happens every day, especially with these taxi men. Them run in your vehicle, then them want to fight you, them want to take you away. At best, you're going to get a SYM, meaning go do this or do that to your mother or your parents. Now, what I am about to say is going to sound very controversial. While that man's action is criminal, while that man's action, meaning the lives of firearm holder, the JDF officer or once JDF officer, because more than likely he is going to be thrown out of the Jamaica Defense Force. More than likely. What he did, he took one for the team, meaning persons that are frustrated with these maniacs, bad drivers on the roads, specifically taximen, just indisciplined people upon a whole. So therefore, persons are going to be in agreement with his action because they too, including myself, have experienced that, where people lick your vehicle and then take for themselves. I told you about a story before of a man in his 50s with diabetes. His vehicle was hit by a man. The man pulled over and him pulled over and the man said he was going to get the paperwork. The man then jumped in his car, take for himself, blazing at some sorts of garrison community in which he lived. That man in the vehicle, meaning the elderly man with diabetes, then bust up some can upon him. The man take for himself, ran to the police station and filed a complaint against the man with the firearm. That man then went to the police station, not knowing that that man had filed saying that the man tried to kill him for no apparent reason. That man, meaning the man that was going about his business, the 50-something-year-old man, he is now locked up. He was given a couple of years, I think 15, because this happened maybe less than about a year or so ago after the new amended Firearm Act. So therefore, this man is now in a prison, losing lives of firearm, loses freedom, all because somebody licked him vehicle and lied, saying that he was going to pull over and get the paperwork. He did not. So people, I just assure you, the domino effect of persons taunting you. Whenever you taunt people upon the street and people go in a road rage, sometimes you cannot blame them. Is it right? Is it justified? No, it is not. Because whenever you get this firearm, this licensed firearm, it is hard to get unless, of course, you're from uptown or you have some connection that can buy it corruptly. So the moral of the story is this: it is hard to get that firearm license, but it is even harder to keep, especially with these people and their mindset in Jamaica. You have to be cool down cucumber to even not overdo it, not get carried away dealing with people like this in Jamaica. Sorry for this man, but he should have known better. He is a JDF officer. He is a licensed firearm holder. And when you have that licensed firearm, it is not a right. It is something that you have to be very disciplined. So now, in this case, we see that this man lost his licensed firearm. He's about to lose his freedom, all because he lost his school. Make somebody push him over the edge, draw him out, so that he drew his gun, point blank, and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called "If You're Jamaican, Leave from Jamaica, Live Overseas." Especially in a state like Florida where they have the stand the ground law, meaning that you can defend yourself by any means necessary. If you feel, you just have to feel that your life is in danger. You do not have to prove that your life is in danger. Once you can feel that your life is in danger and your wheel and pop off did not instigate an incident, and that person that was the aggressor gets conned up or even gets taken out, more than likely it is going to be proved as self-defense. Such is the case of a Jamaican family known as Mark Anthony Sweeney, him and his wife, Mark Anthony Streety. Him and his wife have been having some domestic disputes for a very long time, based on the fact that infidelity in the house, based on the fact that him breed a young lady and the wife find out he is 27 or so, I think. The wife find out, and every day is all sorts of argument. Every day is all sorts of dispute. She keeps bringing up the same old story every day. He was kind of getting aggravated, agitated about it, but he decides maybe they can work it out. However, it seems as if it was only getting from bad to worse. However, it got to the worst extent maybe about a week ago or so. Based on the information, it is said that the wife started the same old argument one night. So this man said, you know what, I'm tired of this. Even though I'm wrong, and I am not going to be wrong and strong, I am going to decide to leave the house. I am going to pack my stuff, my Dulcimina bag, and I am going to exit stage left. Even if you are wrong, you have the right to leave. So therefore, he decided that he was going to do the right thing. Leave her with the house. Don't know if the house is paid for. Don't know if he was going to leave her with the mortgage. Don't know what type of understanding they had, any type of agreement they have. Not really privy to that information. Now, based on the information, it is said that on that day of the last argument that they had, because the wife is now gone. While he was packing his bag, the wife come up on a rail up. He called the police. The police come and squash the situation. Spoke to both the wife and the husband, thought that everything was okie-dory. Police left. When the police left, the husband called again and said, you know, say, even though you come by here and you told her to stop antagonize me, I am going to pack my stuff and I am going to exit the building. She is still arguing with me. It was during this second conversation that the husband had called the police, that the police heard one shot rang out, and then after that one shot, they heard a double shot. So therefore, 3 shots in total was fired in the house that had the wife, the husband, and maybe 2 little chickadee, 2 little pygmy. When the police came back on the scene, they realized that that lady, meaning the wife, was laying on the ground, reading out from her own you know what, and the man was there. He was also injured in a female leg. Based on the information, it is said that when the police came the first time, the argument continued, like I said. While he called the police on the next time, the second time, that was when she wheel and pop off and can him up in her foot, and then him wheel and pop off and can her up. Those 2 cons that she got, 2 for 1, was fatal. When the police come on the scene, like I said, she was pretty much done and dusted. He was injured, no sorts of life-threatening injuries. Moral of the story is this, all of this because him breed a next lady, and she found out and she kept arguing about it over and over. Now, people, I am no sort of relationship therapist. However, if you're there with a woman and she breed for your next man, that relationship, in my eyes, is pretty much over, done, and dusted. Vice versa. If your husband breed for or breed an next woman, that relationship, in most cases, is done and dusted. Unless, of course, you're one of the most reasonable person, meaning man or wife or husband, and you can work it out and you can make bygones be bygones. However, it makes absolutely no sorts of sense to be cursing for days, weeks, and months on top of months until the end of eternity. Usually, unless there's some sort of therapy, unless there's some sort of agreement, meaning real verbal agreement, wherein this wife or husband is willing to forgive and forget, it is only usually going to end up in the worst case scenario. So all because somebody breed somebody and jealousy, people get into them feelings. The police come, calm it down, and then you decide that you was going to wheel and pop off on the man, even though that he was DEAD wrong. You should understand you can't give nobody any sort of warning shot, especially when you live in a stand ground state, as in Florida, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. That is exactly what that is. People, this is a sad state of affairs. Jamaicans, them leave from Jamaica with the same attitude, go foreign with the same attitude. So people, at the end of the day, the wife is gone, the husband get locked up. The husband got locked up for discharging a firearm in a house, meaning that other children or children were there. It is said that at least 4 persons were there. I am assuming it is the wife, the husband, and then the little picnic them. So people, she is gone and he is facing charges. Don't think that he's going to be charged for any sorts of takeaway because more than likely it is going to be ruled as self-defense based on the fact that she discharged the first shot. However, she got the worstest of the worstest. Point blank and period.
You often say that doctors don't do anything at the hospital. Sometimes you have a ton of people that you have to work with. Look at this. This is my office. And there's about 100 people on the outside already. Alright, well, after a day's work, I am out. And I'm heading home. Thank God. Alright.
So the next thing that is popping in the news based off the video that you saw, that was circulating all over social media maybe about a year or so ago, in which this man was faking it, acting as if he was a doctor working at, I think, Spanish Town Hospital or one of them, KPH, don't quote me on the place. However, he was found out he was cold busted after he had robbed some purses, defrauded some purses of millions of dollars. So not only was he making videos posted on social media, I guess, playing the part, he was actually telling persons that he could get them medical visa to go to the United States to get treated for their medical ailments. He was neither a doctor or he neither had any sorts of contacts with the US immigration and visa people. So therefore, he was lying. He was arrested, he was in custody, he went to trial or maybe plea bargain and he was given 6 years and 58 days, maybe about a day or so ago. So people, I am going to let you hear from the Minister of Health, the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, what he has to say in responding to this man getting his sentence of 6 years plus. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
We respect the court's decision to send a strong message that you can't pretend to be what you're not, particularly when it involves people's lives. And for you, without the credentials, to be claiming to be a medical practitioner, it means that you're offering solutions that could end up killing people. So it's a wrong thing to do. We spend a lot of money at the gates of entry, and to the extent that someone is posing as a doctor, carrying the tools of a doctor, wearing the clothes of a doctor, somebody needs to inquire if they don't know for sure why are they here and whether or not they are a doctor, a medical doctor. And so some amount of sensitization will have to take place to monitor the environment in a lot more secure way. The issues of cameras around the institution, I know we have some, but we need more. And the electronic security arrangement also should point us in a direction to at least raise alarm.
Now, people, when you see the extent of what persons would do, especially with the advent of social media, how social media can be used to educate and it could also be used to defraud, to fool persons into thinking what they see is what it is. But like I've always told you, believe half of what you see, half of what you hear on social media, because persons are always putting up an image that is the total opposite of exactly who they are. So therefore, a lot of persons are on here capping. Well, people, this man was pushing the envelope as far as you can push it. Because what type of person could actually go through the extent or to the extent of this man, big man, grey tone, grey seed man, to actually post these videos, go upon the people and property, go in at the people and ward and act like he's a doctor, while his intention was just to defraud persons, because he obviously was not saving any sorts of life. If anything, he was robbing people and maybe them even taking away their life. No evidence to substantiate those claims, but me just say. So people, at the end of the day, this man got exactly what he deserved, time, and they're going to use him as an example for all other aspiring doctors out here with fraudulent intentions. Point blank and period.